and act as if they had the coronavirus. That's why this is a new normal, because you will have to do things a little bit differently to enjoy the outdoors. I want to thank Parks Director again, Maria Nardi, and Police Director Alfredo Ramirez for all they are doing to prepare the parks and waterways to open on Wednesday. And we've been doing this for a while now, getting ready, getting prepared, so that when we do it, it's done right. Enforcement is the key to success of our Open Spaces initiative. If people do not abide by the rules, they will be escorted out. And if they resist or persist, they could be facing a fine up to $500. So again, there will be zero tolerance for people who do not follow the rules. These new rules for Executive Orders 2120 will clearly be posted at all parks, marinas, and golf courses. I will be signing the order later today, and you can read all the details once it's posted at miamidade.gov/coronavirus. For our parks, we're hiring about 400 people who have been working in security and doing other work at the Hard Rock Stadium and the AAA Arena. Those folks have not been able to work because those facilities are closed, so I'm very happy, extremely happy that we'll be able to employ them. They are in the final training today and tomorrow so that we can open up our parks on Wednesday. We're also bringing dozens more county employees as well as school crossing guards to help with the enforcement at parks. Most county parks will be open from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. There will also be special hours and days for seniors to take walks at our parks in the morning. There will be no organized competitive play on courts or field except for singles tennis. Right here in this basketball court, the new rules require a player to bring his or her own ball and play solo. You can have up to 3 people on a half court taking turns throwing their ball, shooting at the hoop. You could probably play horse, but there's no contact. They must each have their own ball, again, and only touch their ball. We want to be able to get outdoors and have some fun, but you must not come into close contact, which is why there will be no pickup games allowed. Also, there will be one-way directional signs at some selected parks for people to take walks while practicing social distancing and wearing coverings for your nose and mouth. Activities that will be allowed include walking, jogging, hiking, skating, cycling, nature walks on trails, obviously singles tennis. Also, you can play some basketball. If you want to do single work with a ball, of a soccer ball, or you want to play catch, as long as you have social distancing, you can do that. Vehicle parking will be limited as necessary to follow CDC guidelines for social distancing. The following amenities will remain closed: food and rental concessions, bike racks, playgrounds, and outdoor exercise equipment, dog parks, recreation buildings, picnic tables, picnic shelters, gyms, campgrounds, skate parks, splash pads, swimming pools, and all mechanical attractions. Access to public restrooms will be available with safe protocols in accordance with CDC guidelines. There will be an attendant at each restroom to make sure the rules are followed. And of course, there will be much more stringent cleaning thanks to the additional staff that we have hired. Now, and this is important, my order allows the cities now can open their parks, but each municipality can have tougher rules, and they may decide not to open certain parks. Some places like Zoo Miami and the Atoll Beach at Matheson Hammock will remain closed for now. So again, before heading out, please check out the rules and locations at miamidade.gov/coronavirus on our new normal page on miamidade.gov. These rules are vital to the public health of our community, so there will be tough enforcement. On the water, this will include Miami-Dade Police, the U.S. Coast Guard, and the state's fish and wildlife officers. They will be patrolling our waterways to make sure boaters are following the county's new capacity limits for their vessels and that they are practicing social distancing. The new rules on our waterways include keeping a distance of at least 50 feet between boats at all times, even at anchor, no tying in Stiltsville, no more than a single rider on jet skis, no anchoring in shallow sandbars, no rafting, landing, or beaching of boats, no gatherings of more than 10 people, and specific capacity limits depending on the boat size, which you can check online. For instance, 4 people can occupy a boat that's less than 25 feet long, plus any children in that family unit, with a maximum of 8 adults and kids. There are very specific regulations for all charter vessels. For example, Six-pack vessels can have no more than 4 guests. And there's also requirements for charter boats, kayaks, and canoes, boat ramp protocols, and rules on fishing on the shore and at piers. Rules for golf courses are also clearly spelled out. Staff and players must wear facial coverings when around the clubhouse and practice social distancing. Players must bring their own golf equipment, and no golf course staff are allowed to transport their equipment. Only one player will be allowed per cart. There will be absolutely no exceptions to this rule. There will be no indoor events at the clubhouse, no use of locker rooms, and nobody is to touch the flags. Cup modifications will include use of a noodle to fill the holes or raising the cup an inch above the ground to prevent the balls from entering the hole. Once the hole hits and once the ball hits either the noodle or the cup, it's deemed to be in. For additional rules, once again, check out Executive Order 2120 at miamidade.gov/coronavirus or go to miamidade.gov/new normal. Returning to our open spaces is our county's first major step in moving to a new normal. We're already working on the next step, which will be to begin opening non-essential businesses that we can get our residents back to work. And that's a high priority for myself, and I know for the commissioners also. It's a high priority to get our community back and get it back to working. I was in a virtual meetings all this weekend with 9 working groups and our medical experts. We're going over recommendations to see what it would take to be able to open these interior spaces, including restaurants, museums, and cultural venues, small businesses, retail shops, factories, office buildings, trade and logistics, hotels, and personal grooming businesses. Once again, science will lead our decisions so that we can protect workers and customers and the residents. And we're not going to be rushing into this. In each case, we're stressing social distancing, masks, and specific deep cleaning for high-touch areas such as elevators and workspaces. In any future openings, personal responsibility will continue to be crucial to our success. We will make rules to keep you safe, but you must take personal responsibility and keep others safe as well. Our new motto is, I keep you safe, you keep me safe. Thank you. May God bless everyone in Miami-Dade County as we continue moving to a new normal. And now I'll take some questions in English before I go to Spanish. Sure. We have a ton of them. So I'll make sure that my office can release everybody that's on. It's really kind of an open invitation. So we've had a lot of people, and I'll be happy to provide that for you. Yes. I'm working with I already told you who it was. It was our infection control experts from FIU, University of Miami, UHealth, and Jackson Memorial, along with the State Department of Health. They've been with us the entire time. They haven't said that this was too soon. Actually, they've bought off on it. So I don't know who the city of Miami is talking to. They have the right to keep their parks closed, but we're going to be opening up our parks here on Wednesday. Don't know. We don't know because we're still working on the recommendations. And again, it won't be done until we have our medical experts tell us that it's safe to do. And it probably will be done very methodically. It just won't be everything is open. Some things it'll be safer to open some things. We want to make sure too that that our rules are pretty uniform. 6 feet apart, wearing masks, all that. For the residents, that it's very clear, very easy to understand. If I go into here, it's the same rule as if I go there. The back of the house, it may have different rules. If you're a warehouse, you may have different rules of how you conduct your business. If you're a retail store, you may have certain rules of how you conduct your business. If you're a hotel, you may have different rules of how you conduct your business. But the customer experience should be very, very uniform so that we all know these are the rules. These are the rules that are established for everything, and it's easier for the residents. And also, I'm also happy to announce that I think that Broward and Palm Beach are having the same news conference right now. At least they told me they're going to, and we wanted to do this together. I believe so. When I spoke to the managers of Broward and Palm Beach, they indicated that they wanted to have some kind of announcement at 4. I don't know if they went with it, but they're basically following the same steps we are. I'm sorry? Well, here we're going to have, like I said, we're going to be hiring 400 additional people, plus we're having people, employees of Miami-Dade that are not part of the park system that are going to be part of the enforcement. And so if you have if you have a pickup game here, we're going to say you can't have a pickup game. If you persist, please, you have to leave the park. If you persist, hey, we're going to have to call the police department to make sure that we enforce that rule, and then you may end up with a $500 fine. On all of these things, because it's actually a second-degree misdemeanor if you don't follow these rules. This is not, I hope that you do this. We're going to do this. Part of the reason we do that, we've learned from other places where they didn't have the enforcement, and then people just went out, did what they wanted to do. That's not what we're going to do. That's why we really prepared it. We have a training program. We added a bunch of people to make sure that they're there to enforce the rules so that everybody can enjoy the parks, and a few don't spoil it for the rest of us. Sure. Yeah. What I've always said from the beginning is that you have to assume that everybody has the virus. And if you assume that everybody has the virus, then you have to, what is it that will protect me from you, all right, and him and her, all right? And so I have to wear a mask. I need to stay at least 6 feet away from her, and then if I do that, and if I touch a surface, then I should wash my hands, and I shouldn't be touching my face. If you do that, you can cut the transmission by a huge factor, all right? And so that's the message. I was always somewhat frustrated. Said, well, you had another 100 positives. I always knew we had a lot more people that were positive than were being tested, because the people being tested were only the people that had symptoms. And the study has shown, and we already knew that a lot of people did not show any symptoms. You wouldn't know you had it. You didn't have any symptoms. You didn't have a headache. You didn't have a temperature. You weren't coughing or sneezing or anything, but you were contagious. So that's why we have to assume that everybody is contagious. That's why we have to assume everybody has the virus. That's why we have to, when we open up the spaces, we have to take these measures. If you follow these measures and you do what we ask you to do, then your risk of getting infected here is very, very low. Your risk of getting infected on the water is very, very low, and on a golf course, it's very, very low. If you follow what we tell you to do, if you follow the rules. No, we're not doing the pools. We have another group on pools. I would expect that we would get a number of antibody tests here in Miami-Dade. We bought like 20,000 here to do our study. We have to also, as part of this, we are going to be maintaining that study and establishing a recognizance or reconnaissance of what's happening in the county, maintaining a study protocol so that we know that we're starting to see a spike in infection, we'll catch it right away. If you wait for hospitalizations, that is about a week or two behind an increase in infection, because you don't start to show those symptoms for maybe a week or two after you've been infected. So a monitoring program, a monitoring testing program is going to be vital, not only for this initiative, but when we start to open up the economy, we have to monitor that. We have to make sure that we always are below our infection rate and the hospitalization rate, which actually is more important. How many people actually get sick is always below the capacity of our health system to deal with it. And so far, we've been way under capacity, way over capacity, in other words. We have way more beds than even normal. There are more empty beds now than on a normal day because a lot of the hospitals cleared out their beds waiting for this wave that hasn't come. And so that's why this is the right time to do it, as long as we have the monitoring in place, as long as we do take all these measures, as long as we have the enforcement for it, we feel confident that we can keep infection rate at a level and actually have it decrease. Nothing here is written in stone, all right? So everything's on paper, and so if we see trends that trouble us, yeah, we can take other measures, and so including take these measures back. It's important that we follow the rules, because if we do follow the rules, we don't anticipate that the level of hospitalizations is going to be increasing to the point where it causes us concern. But again, we can always roll it back. After I finish all the English, I'll do the Spanish. Are we good with English? Okay, off to Spanish. Gracias por estar aquí en Tropical Park, en lo que nos preparamos para reabrir los parques, las vías de agua y los campos de golf el miércoles. Yo sé que muchos han estado esperando la primera fase de la nueva normalidad. Gracias a todos los expertos médicos que nos han ayudado, tanto con los planes para todo esto. También hemos trabajando con todas las comunidades y los condados de Broward, Monroe y Palm Beach para hacer las cosas juntas. Conmigo hoy está la presidenta de la comisión, Audrey Edmondson, el senador Javier Soto, también el comisionado Steve Bobo, y del Distrito 10, Javier Soto. Gracias a todos por su apoyo. Quiero recordarle que lo que se va a abrir miércoles no va a ser como si todo fuera normal. No va a ser normal. Los parques, las aguas y los campos de golf se van a poder usar en formas limitadas. Todo el mundo tiene que tener responsabilidad personal, y les sigo diciendo que tenemos que todos actuar como si tenemos el virus. El éxito de la iniciativa de abrir los espacios abiertos depende de que todos sigan las reglas. Si no lo hacen, se van a tener que ir del lugar. Si se oponen, pueden enfrentar una multa de hasta $500. Tenemos una política de cero tolerancia. Las reglas van a estar visibles en todos los parques, las marinas y campos de golf. Voy a firmar la orden esta noche y le van a poder leer en miamidade.gov/coronavirus. Para los parques estamos contratando a 400 personas que trabajan en seguridad en los estados, en los estadios que no han podido trabajar por los cierres. Me da gusto saber que les podemos dar empleo a 400 personas. La mayoría de los parques del condado van a abrir de 7 de la mañana a 8 de la noche, y para nuestros residentes de la tercera edad tenemos horas y días especiales para que puedan ir a caminar. No vamos a tener deportes organizados por el momento, ni juegos en los campos o las canchas, con la excepción del tennis singles. Para usar esta cancha de baloncesto que estamos ahora, tiene que traer su propia pelota y jugar solo. 3 personas pueden estar en una mitad de la cancha tomando turnos. El contacto entre personas se tiene que evitar. En algunos parques, las vías para caminar van a ser en una dirección, y si caminan deben de llevar sus máscaras y mantener la distancia social. Se permite caminar, correr, patinar y montar bicicleta. El parqueo va a ser limitado para mantener la distancia social. Los parques de juego de niños, las piscinas siguen cerradas, los baños van a estar abiertos con las reglas de la CDC en lugar y métodos de limpieza muy estrictos. Ahora es importante saber que mi orden permite a las ciudades que puedan abrir sus parques. Hasta ahora las ciudades no podían abrir los parques, pero cada ciudad tiene el deber, también pueden tener reglas más fuertes y decidir no abrir ciertos parques. Algunos lugares como el Zoo Miami siguen cerrados. Antes de salir, visiten miamidade.gov coronavirus o vayan a miamidade.gov/new normal. En el agua, la policía de Miami-Dade y otras agencias van a estar en la patrulla. Todos deben seguir las reglas del número máximo de personas permitidas en sus botes. Los barcos tienen que estar separados por 50 pies y las reglas de no juntar los barcos con sogas siguen en lugar. Los detalles de las reglas para los botes y para los barcos charter van a estar en la orden y todos deben saber cuántas personas pueden llevar en sus barcos dependiendo del tamaño. También van a poder pescar desde la costa, pero tienen que mantener la distancia social y tener máscaras. Las reglas en los campos de golf también están claras. Los empleados y jugadores tienen que llevar máscaras y practicar la distancia social. Los golfistas tienen que llevar su propio equipo y nadie más lo puede tocar. Solo un jugador en cada carrito, sin excepciones. No hay uso de ningún espacio interior en los clubs, incluyendo los locker rooms. Deben de leer todas las otras reglas. Recuerden, la orden va a estar en miamidade.gov/coronavirus. Volviendo a los espacios abiertos, es el primer paso del condado hacia la nueva normalidad. Ya estamos trabajando en el próximo paso de abrir los negocios no esenciales para que nuestros residentes puedan volver a trabajar. Tengo 9 grupos de trabajo y varios expertos médicos trabajando conmigo para buscar la forma segura de hacerlo. No nos vamos a apurar para abrir los restaurantes, las tiendas, las factorías y los otros lugares cerrados. Todo se va a hacer tomando en cuenta lo que dicen los médicos, pero la responsabilidad personal va a seguir siendo lo más importante para que todo salga bien. Hay que seguir las reglas y recordar que yo te cuido, tú me cuidas. Gracias y que Dios lo bendiga. Ahora puedo contestar preguntas. Okay. Yo he conversado con los médicos de la Universidad de Miami, los médicos de Florida International University, los médicos del Sistema de Salud de la Universidad de Miami y los médicos de Jackson y también el Departamento de Salud del Estado de la Florida. Ellos siempre han estado parte de esta iniciativa y han dicho que todo está bien y podemos seguir con este paso. Sí, es seguro en la manera que lo vamos a abrir. Y también los condados de Broward y Palm Beach yo creo que van a seguir también este paso. El condado de Miami-Dade te da las reglas que son el límite bajo. Tienes que por lo menos seguir en lo que nosotros decimos. La ciudad de Miami no puede abrir sus parques si nosotros no le damos la orden que lo puede hacer. Ahora, las ciudades pueden tomar medidas más estrictas si ellos quieren. Si no tienen las personas que pueden enforzar las medidas, la ciudad puede tomar esa decisión. Yo estoy trabajando también con la Liga de Ciudades y la Liga de Ciudades también está en acuerdo de lo que estamos haciendo. La mayoría de las ciudades están en acuerdo. Hay algunas ciudades aquí que hacen lo que ellos quieren hacer. Es lamentable, le dan una confusión a nuestros residentes, pero eso es lo que ellos están haciendo. Yo sé lo que estoy haciendo, yo sé la medida que estoy tomando, sé la manera que lo estamos tomando. Sé que hemos hablado con los médicos en todos estos pasos y sé que lo que estamos haciendo es seguro si todo el mundo sigue las reglas. Así que tengo la confianza que lo que estamos haciendo es correcto. Miami Beach no puede abrir nada hasta que el condado le dé el permiso de abrir. Así que la primera cosa que tiene que suceder es que el condado le tiene que dar el permiso a cualquier ciudad a abrir cosas que nosotros hemos cerrado. Ahora, cuando nosotros damos el permiso y damos las reglas, ellos tienen que cumplir con esas reglas. Ellos pueden hacer algo más estricto, pero no menos estricto. Así que la ciudad de Miami Beach puede ser que está planificando, piensa que nosotros vamos a dar una orden, pero hasta que el condado no diga que está, tiene el permiso, no. ¿Qué? No, no. Así que yo no sé cómo alguien tiene planeado el día, porque los expertos que hemos hablado nosotros no hemos llegado a ese tiempo todavía. Todavía estamos formulando las reglas para asegurar que cuando se abren, se lo abren de una manera segura. Y siguiendo las medidas del CDC y también del Departamento de Salud del Estado de la Florida y también nuestros expertos de médicos que tenemos de la Universidad de Miami y Florida International University. ¿Algo más? Muchas gracias a todos. Que Dios los bendiga.